Hello and welcome back to the channel. As you can see from the title, I'm about to talk about something that I didn't know, and many of you probably didn't know either. Some of you may have known this already, but it's no surprise to me at all, because the time frame that this all happened in, these kinds of happenings were so very prevalent. Emmett Till's father was also lynched. And guess what? Guess what? It was because of white women. Now, what I found interesting about the whole thing was the fact that when it was shared with the two men who actually killed Emmett Till, when it was shared with, actually not the two men, but when it was shared with the jury, the court system, they actually tried to justify what happened with Emmett Till by saying he was just a deviant anyway. And so in their minds, they are always looking for a way to justify what they do to young black children. We got to justify this because this seems very bad. This is horrible. So we've got to dig up something. We've got to find out something. And so when they heard that Emmett Till's father was accused of what he was accused of, and later hung, they said, this is what we need right here to justify letting go these men who did this to Emmett Till. We found something on his father and we're going to attach it to him. Anyway, I want you to hear the rest of the story, and after that I will be right back.
The untold lynching of Emmett Till and father is a story worth telling. Emmett Till's gruesome lynching at the hands of two white men under the guise that he flirted with one's wife while the 14-year-old African American only went to her shop to buy candy is well known. Less known is the fact that his father, who served in the American Army, was also lynched along with another black soldier in Italy. Louis Till was serving overseas in the Transportation Corps of the U.S. Army during World War II. Till and another African American private, Fred McMurray, were found guilty by an Army court-martial of raping two Italian women and murdering one during an air raid in 1944. Both men were hanged, but writer John Edgar Wideman isn't sold on the guilt of both men. He reckons in a segregated U.S. Army of the time where blacks were disrespected and lied on even by their fellow white soldiers and superiors, the pair's murder couldn't be taken on face value. Louis Till nor Fred McMurray ever had a chance, Wideman informed NPR's Scott Simon. It was decided long before anybody even knew their names that some black soldiers are going to take the fall for these crimes. Wideman holds that Till and McMurray weren't given a fair trial, promoting his book Writing to Save a Life, The Louis Till File. Till enlisted in the U.S. Army in 1943 after a judge gave him a choice to enlist or be imprisoned for violating a restraining order against him by his estranged wife Mamie Till. Born on February 7, 1922, Till was killed on July 2, 1945, aged a mere 23 years. Till, together with McMurray, were court-martialed, found guilty and sentenced to death by hanging. Wideman submits Till's son Emmett, who was also lynched in the summer of 1955, would have received justice in death as the federal government put pressure on the state of Mississippi to penalize the two men J. W. Millam and Roy Bryant, who were linked to the murder. All that changed when the press got informed that Till's father had committed murder and rape in Italy and been executed. The southern media portrayed the youth as deviant, and with that, the two killers got to walk free. The untold lynching of Emmett Till and father in Mississippi became a national issue, thanks to his mother's insistence that his mutilated body be returned home to Chicago, and an open casket funeral held for him with photos published by the influential Jet magazine. 65 years after Emmett Till's ordeal, however, Congress has finally approved legislation designating lynching as a hate crime under federal law. The bill, introduced by Illinois Representative Bobby Rush and named after Till, comes 120 years after Congress first considered anti-lynching legislation and after dozens of similar efforts were defeated. Perhaps, had the untold lynching of Emmett Till and father come earlier, it could have saved 4,000 other lynching victims, mostly African Americans. The measure was approved 410-4 on Wednesday in the House, and now goes to the White House.
Okay, so of course, again, because of the time frame, these kinds of things were always happening. And so it really confuses me when I see so-called black men just running after these other women, these other nations, white women and these other races of people, straightway like an ox to the slaughter. These people done told you they don't want you with their women. They don't want you with their women. They've made that very clear. Now, the story of Emmett Till is not the only one that has happened like this. Now, he was young, but it was very common for black men to be accused of things. It was even stated in the piece that we heard that it was common for them to be accused of things, and there was always this big shadow of doubt. Did they really do it? Remember the show or the movie Rosewood, where the white woman lied and say it was a black man who did this? Of course, she used other choice words when really it was her own lover who did this to her, but all she had to do was say it was a black man, and everybody went buck wild. Hundreds of black people died because she lied. So, this story didn't surprise me at all to hear that Emmett Till's father was killed in the way that he was because he was accused of something that it was never proven that he had anything to do with. Came as no surprise to me at all. It was just another sad situation that happened back in the day, and we continue to see these same sad situations happening in today's time as well. This is because we don't understand that we are in the land of our captivity. This was all prophesied, and I know folk don't want to hear it, but it is what it is. The truth is what it is, whether we like it or not. The truth will always be, even if you don't accept it. You don't even have to agree with the truth. It's not going to cease to exist because you don't agree. Anyway, I am done with the story. I want to know what your thoughts are in the comment section. Did you know that Emmett Till's father was also lynched over a white woman? Did you know? Let me know what your thoughts are. If you haven't already, subscribe to the channel, share and like this video, and with that, I am out. Be sure to ring the bell to be notified of new uploads on this channel, and also comment, share, like, and subscribe.